Very good afternoon, everyone. I hope you enjoyed your Diwali. Let's back to our topics, remaining topics. So today I have this dummy variable as independent variable. Today we will take 5 or 6 different cases of dummy variables as an independent variable. So far, we have done with all the hypothesis testing, inferences about overall significance of the model, individual significance, and for that before that we did all type of derivations for variances for beta coefficients by matrix and bivariate, both the methods. Let's today start with dummy variable case. First, what this dummy variable is and how we deal with it when we have an independent variable case as a dummy variable. Today we'll do this exercise with this data, and this is now today most of the content I'm taking from Gujarati chapter 9. So generally, dummy variables are qualitative independent variables, nominal scale variables. And as an independent variable, when we introduce any particular dummy variable in the regression, that is in form of binary form, means even that's not a restriction to the independent variable. Let's suppose you have a independent variable social group, which have a SC, ST, others, obviously 4 different categories. But when we introduce it in a regression, then we have to introduce it in form of binary form, 1 and 0. Just okay, let's take this example. Like there are many variables which are nominal scale, like gender, race, color, religion, nationality, geographical region, political upheavals, party affiliation, like in the political dimensions. For example, you want to know uh, impact of gender, to whom they are going to vote, or the social group. Today, I'm just going to take a case of independent variables. The dependent variable as a nominal scale, that we will take in a part 4. Then there are many variables associated with our individual characters. Like you might put these things. You have something and you don't have something. Like assets, you have and have not. Is all the binary forms when you have a nominal scale type of variables. Then we say dummy variables in a regression models. Just take this first example. Okay, let's take the example first from Gujarati itself. I shared this data sets with you, so we will do it with data. Okay, let's suppose we have this particular study where we have a data for salary, average salary of public school teachers by state, and dummy variable here is for geographical thing. For example, if the state is the northeast or north central, means here this geographical dimension we are going to put as a dummy variable. Then our dummy variable is the region, geographical region. Now let's suppose in this particular situation, they have these 3 different geographical locations: northeast and north central, south and west. And you want to see, is there any difference in the average salary of school teachers based upon these geographical locations? So now you have this particular variable, categorical variable, this geographical location, and you might, let's suppose you divided it into 3 different groups. It might be 4, it might be 5. That depends upon how you're dividing those. That's depend upon the categories you are making. That has nothing to anything to related with the regression. Let's suppose I'm taking this case that they divided it into a 3 categories. Like we divide in 4 categories: north, south, east, west. The criteria you have to define from the theoretical justification is why you are taking those categories. In this particular case, there are 3 categories: northeast and north central, south and west. Means this is how this geographically they divided this part of the I think this data set is from the USA. Yes, they have 50 states, so they divide into these 3 categories. Now, what we are interested to know here is that suppose we want to find out if the average annual salary of public school teachers differs among the 3 geographical regions of the country. If you take the simple arithmetic average of average salaries of the teachers in 3 regions, you find that let's suppose there are 3 different averages for these geographical locations. Now they are different, right? So the thing is that is it when something related to geographical region that in one particular area individual is getting or these public school teachers are getting higher salary as compared to another. So let's suppose this is the something you want to study. So we have a data set. I think I shared this data set with you. Yeah, I sent it this file to you. Your results slightly differ with these results because there are few changes while I was copying pasting this data from the Gujarati data set case. So don't worry about that. Just try to understand this process. Let me open this data set. Our dependent variable here is salary, that is quantitative, means so far only again it's a quantitative. Only independent variable we are taking as a dummy variable case. Okay, so we have this data, salary, spending. Now dummy variable. Now what is the dummy variable here? We have 3 categories, right? Northeast, south and west. So first is how you put this in the regression. That's the first thing you have to understand, that how we use these variables in a dummy. Means you have a 3 categories, or might be 4 or 5, depends upon your niche, your variable, that what variable you are trying to study. In this particular situation, we have 3 categories. So, okay, let me give you this example, that how you have to put this in numerical model. Let me connect my pad with it. Gagan, sir, when I have data sources with SC options, then how many categories of dummy? In categories you have to think, means how many categories you have in your research area. For regression, that I'll tell you that how you can introduce those categories, but how many number of categories, that depend upon your variable. It might be 5, it might be 6, it might be 7. That differ from situation to situation. Okay, so now look upon the data here. Salary is our dependent variable, and D2 and D3. Now, what are the D2 and D3? This example I have took from here. So here the D2 and D3 is If the state is in the northeast and north central, then 1, otherwise 0. And D3 is if the state is in the south. So what will be the remaining? West, third category. Let me explain you with this notepad once it will open. Wait a Google, Gagan, wait, I'll come to that. First, try to understand how we put them in the regression model. Then characters or the precautions that we have to take while we put dummy variable in the regression. Okay, so in this particular case, we have this value salary, right, for different states. And we divided it into 3 different geographical regions, that is north, east, and north central, west, and south. Now let's suppose we want to know, means this is the first thing, that there are 3 categories in this variable. It might be 5, it might be 6, that depend upon the situation. Your variable in the research question. Let's suppose you are doing studies for 5 districts or 5 states or 5 countries. Is that depend upon your situation, how you are putting those categories. Our purpose here is to find, is there any difference in this average salary of teachers because of this geographical region? So this is our categorical variable. So how we can introduce this in a regression model in form of dummy. So model here is, this is the way, means you have to put dummy in regression. Now 2 or 3 questions here. First, there are 3 categories. Then how many dummies we have to introduce in the regression, that Gagan is asking about, that dummy variable trap. And second, how we have to put it in a regression form. So generally you have to put it in a binary form, that is 1 or 0. Although this 1, 0, these numbers you can change. I'll come to that property, that how you have to put. And there is a specific thing about these numbers that you have to keep in mind. So first, you have to put these in a dummy form, that is, if it's this state is from north, then 1, otherwise 0. If that state is from west, 1, otherwise 0. If that state is from south, otherwise 0. So these dummy variables are 1 or 0. In this particular case, like in this Gujarati example, they put northeast and north central and south, means 2 categories here, right? This is northeast and north central, and this is south. 1 or 0, 1 or 0. Now this is the thing, that if you have a 3 categories, then you have to introduce 2 dummy variables in the regression model. If you have a 5 categories, you have to introduce 4 dummy variables. The reason I'll come later on after this example, why we have to put only 2 categories. But that choices depend upon you, whether you are taking regression model with intercept or without intercept. If your regression model is with intercept, then rule is that you have to use m minus 1. M the number of categories you have, minus 1 dummy variables in regression. Like here we have a 3 categories, so we have to introduce 2 dummy variables. Now this choice is yours, that which 2 you have to introduce. West or south, northeast or west, northeast or south, like we are introducing here. The choice is that out of these three, or if you have 5 or 6 categories, one category you have to keep as reference. With that category you want to compare. We also say it as a benchmark category. The left out, like here we introduced this north, south. So the left one is this west. This is here we are keeping as benchmark category. That these results will be different from this benchmark category. And from where this value for this benchmark category will come, that automatically come from intercept term. This particular value is for left out, the third category in this case. And with reference to this category, that is west, these values will tell us this average changes in average salary of these public school teachers with respect to west. Let me come first to this example that will give you more clarity about this situation. If you look upon this data, the one is only for where this average annual salary is from the northeast or north central. Others are 0. And in second case, for south, it's 1. So still there are, you can see this few states or these few numbers where no 1 is not given. So that is the case of west category. So now we have to put this in a regression model. First, just run regression, then try to understand these results. This is the model we have. Dependent variable salary of public and school teachers. First dummy, that is for northeast, then second dummy for south, and the west dummy that automatically come in intercept term. So if you have a model, regression model with intercept, then you have to use this m-1 rule to introduce in the dummy variables. Now if we run this regression, then we will get these results. First, just look upon the results. Regress salary, then both the dummy variables. That is our regression model, right? So these are the results. Now first just try to understand these results. This constant is this particular value. This value is this particular value, beta 1. And what it means first, this particular value first. It means on an average in west, intercept will tell you the value for benchmark category. In our case, this is west. So average annual salary in west is 26,158. If it's dollar, then dollar. If it's rupees, then rupees. Now, in comparison to this benchmark category, now see the coefficients of the next two variables. The second was the northeast and north central. So its coefficient, that is beta 2. Now let's see the value for this particular coefficient for D2. It is minus 134,734. So it means as compared to west, on an average, public school teachers are getting salary less by 1734 rupees. So just subtract this 1734 out of this 26158. That's the average salary of the northeast teachers in the northeast and north central. But before doing that, you have to see its significance. Means that's only if it's individually significant. Third, the average annual salary of this public school teacher in South is less by $3,122. Means it is less from the West. You have to subtract it from to 26,158, this amount, and that will be the average salary in the South school teachers. But that we only interpret means when this particular individual coefficient is significant, otherwise not. So in this particular result, let's take now this particular case. These are the results, right? Regression results. So how we have to interpret these results? The mean salary of teachers in the West is about 26,158. That of teachers in the North and North Central is lower by about 1734 because of this negative coefficient. And that of teachers in the South is lower by 3265. The actual mean salary in the last two regions can be easily obtained by adding these differential salaries to the mean salaries of teachers in the West. If reference category is insignificant, means you are saying that your intercept is insignificant. Then you have to see that the other category means that is for your intercept, that you are saying your intercept is insignificant. Then the thing is that first running the regression, just calculate the averages for all the different regions. And if that reference category is insignificant, then you have to look upon the other categories. It's not possible that all are, it might be that all are insignificant. That means is that whatever the overall average of that particular means all the three categories, that will be the average salary for all, means there is no significant difference by the region. So that you have to interpret, means there is no significant difference in your West if it's insignificant. That's what you have to say in that case, that this is reference category. That's why reference category is important, that which reference category you are picking. That choice you have to decide. Let's suppose Gagan was taking this social group case, that then again you have to think about which one is your reference category. SC obviously means in the background, just think like that, that at least you have this notion that in the other categories there are significant changes, means that notion you have in mind, otherwise there is no point to put that in the regression model. So at least you are convinced from the literature or whatever study from it's a primary study from the ground report, that you have to convince that at least why means the reason behind that you are putting that as a dummy variable in the regression, that you know that there is a significant difference, right? But if that's only in a literature and that won't come in your results, then you have to say that there is no significant difference in this particular category. So it means the result for all the categories almost same. So that you have to interpret, means that there is no significant difference. Like in this case, if it's insignificant, that I would say that there is no significant difference in the average salary in the West. But then I have to see which one is the significant. It might be that other one is significant. Then I just say that for that particular category, its wages from the average annual salary is different. But that's very rare case, because that's why we put a lot of focal effort before deciding the benchmark categories. Means in the first hand, if benchmark is insignificant, there is no point to introduce the dummy variables. So like what they did here before introducing dummy variable, they first calculated simple averages, and anyhow they are convinced that there is some big difference in the West, or there might social group, then you might have convinced that there is particular group that's totally, the results are totally different from other groups. then only you have to use that as a benchmark category. Okay, so now these are the average changes, right? Now, but before saying that, you have to see their individual significance. For example, this northeast and north central is insignificant. Based upon this p-value, you can see it's not less than 0.05. So it means null hypothesis is true. That means the average salary of these public school teachers in the West and Northeast and North Central is almost same. We don't not going to subtract this much amount from this salary. It means this difference is insignificant. So we have to say the average salary in Northeast and North Central is about same as that is in the West. But in case of this South, this is less than 0.05% of level of significance, then we would say there is a significance difference, and that difference is lower by 3,264. So that's the interpretation part for this. Now, just again, just remind you back that the left out part, like this was the left, right? 0 for D2 means that's not from a northeast, north central, nor that's from a south, though the last part was the west. So for west, the average expected salary is beta 1 coefficient. That's our intercept. So that's why we keep this m minus 1, because already intercept get value for the left out dummy variable. Then for the for the south, D3 equal to 1. So that's coefficient is base category plus, it might be positive, it might be negative, beta 3 in this model. And for the northeast, north central, it is intercept, that is west plus minus beta 2 coefficients. That will give you average salary for the northeast. So I hope now you get this point, that first important thing is number of categories you have in your variable. Then you have to introduce in a regression model in form of binary. It might be 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, but at least in form of binary. And rule is m minus 1 if your regression model is with intercept term. Now here, although in regression we have two different dummy variables, but although this categorical variable is one, that is geographical region. So if you want to see the picture form, then this is the change in the intercept only, because there is no although you can see this might say that this is the slope coefficients for these dummies. Yes, these are the slope coefficients for these two dummy variables, but this is only a change in the intercept, that is average change from the left out part, whatever you have, like benchmark category. In this case, we kept this west as a benchmark category. This was in form of difference form. But these results, don't get confused with these results with these regression results, because these results are before the regression, the average salaries. Okay, now if you do this, yeah, plus minus, then you will get average salary for northeast and average salary for south. So we also say this intercept dummy, because only the change is in the intercept. So now a few precautions. The first is this: if you have three different categories in your variable, like we have here, west, south, northeast, north central. So we can't introduce all the three dummy variables. We have to introduce m minus 1. The reason is, if we introduce all the dummy variables, then you will caught with this problem, that is perfect multicollinearity. And how that will happen. Now you have to keep in mind the value of your intercept coefficient is 1. Like let's suppose you have this data for 50 states, right? First, second, third, fourth, 5 till 50. Then we have these coefficients beta 1, beta 2, beta 3. This is residual, and if it's estimated, then beta hat. Now, by default, what will the coefficient for our intercept term? 1 for all, right? And if you introduce 3 dummy variables like beta 2, beta 3, and beta 4, so in few states it's 1, then 0. For other states, 1 in this category, then 0. And maybe for remaining part, the 1 here and other is 0, right? If you horizontally add all these values, what you will get? You will get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 for all the values. And you have a coefficient of 1 for this intercept term as. So its correlation is perfect, right? All the values of 1, 1, 1. So we have perfect multicollinearity. That I'll take in the next class, this multicollinearity topic. But once we have perfect multicollinearity, so your software will give you error, because in that case it's not possible to estimate these coefficients. So that software will not run this regression model because it's not possible to estimate these coefficients once if you have a problem of perfect multicollinearity. So that's why we use m-1 variable, otherwise, and we will say it as a dummy variable trap. So that's why you have to introduce m-1 dummy variable. I hope it's clear that why this is a problem with introducing all the categories as a dummy variable in the regression model. Second, benchmark category, the category for which no dummy variable is assigned. For example, in our case, we have not assigned any dummy variable for a best. That is base benchmark category, and all the comparisons are made in relation to benchmark category. Then the intercept represent the average value for benchmark category. For example, here we have this $26,158 as an average salary for the intercept. This represent for the category which we have not introduced as a dummy variable. That was West in this case. Fourth, the coefficient attached to dummy variables are known as differential intercept coefficients, because this change is only with reference to intercept in this particular case. Then if a qualitative variable has more than one category, as in our illustrative example, the choice of benchmark category is strictly up to the researcher. Means if let's suppose you have a social group, or you might want to do this analysis based upon political parties. Means one might be a supporter of Congress, BJP, or left. So the choice of benchmark category is yours. Means it's researcher's choice that how you have to put that category. Pallavi said we have to change if that no, that's not the criteria. Pallavi means actually thing is this thing that which one is benchmark, that you have to decide before the regression, not after the regression. So it's